started out alive, man, that was the play. Streaming every night, building up the sway. But as the sight faded, I had to find my way. Now I'm hopping platforms, surfing through the fray. Got my crew behind me, yeah, we call them givers. Chillin' IRL, catching all the rivers. Farkle in the chat, bringing lost to the grind. Talking crypto games while we sippin' Jack Fine. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill, that's where I ignite. Community so solid, always shining bright. Rolling deep and cruising for the height. From the struggle to the stream, it's all just a game. But with the giver found, we're making our name. Tracking crypto profits, life just gets sweeter. Every view and every stream, making life a keeper. Give us a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. So here's to the journey, no regrets in sight. Each laugh and each tear, it's a beautiful fight. Keep the wave rolling, let the good vibes flow. We're the givers, together in the show. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme. From the land down under, streaming through the night. Got my heart on my sleeve, everything feels right. Script I play a game, from start to next time, chasing fame. With the year behind me, changing scenes. So through it and then living out the dream of my acoustic strum. Curing and chill for cracking jokes, go stop the thrill. In the land of Kiwis, we ride the waves. Our streams phone, no better days. Gives a minute, yeah, we take our time. Living in the moment, the life's a subtle rhyme.
Hello, the internet. It is Sunday, the 22nd of March, 2026, and welcome back to the channel. Yo, Jason in the house. Davo and Jason, how you going? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, relaxing and enjoying life. Davo, Jason, we're heading towards summer up here. First full day of spring. Dude, it is autumn here in Australia, and it is kind of warm today. I needed to put the AC on. It's that warm. I mean, it's still, I guess, couple of days tail end. Although it's the 22nd of March. I mean, it's first day of the fall, first day of autumn was the 1st of March. So we're 21 days later, but it is still kind of warm here. Ocean's warm, air's warm. Yeah, the weather's changing. So anyway, today on the stream, for the last little while, whenever I've gone to use my iPhone 15 Pro Max to shoot video content, which I do. I mean, I was doing it quite often in the Uluru trip with Marty. I was using my phone to shoot daily vlogs. And the camera on this is so rad. The image quality on this device is so sick that I was thinking I might create daily content on this road trip I'm going to be taking in around about August, depending on where the fuel prices come back down. I'm roughly planning for August. And I was thinking I'm going to use the iPhone in conjunction with my Rode Wireless Go microphones, which I have been using on my iPad, and they're sweet as, like they're so sick, right? But for as long as I've been doing it, I've been using this wangled device, the Joby Grip-Tight Pro tablet, which is not actually designed for an iPhone. It's meant for a tablet, but it actually does retract enough to fit a phone in it on its side like this. Haven't done it for a while. You turn that on its side, and then you got to jimmy your phone in it like this, and then you got to tighten it back up, and sometimes it falls out. You got to make certain that it's underneath the lens. It can't be over the top of the lens. Got to be underneath it. And then you've got this rather sketchified handheld vlog machine, and it works, right? It works fine. But I was thinking, before I go on this next trip, if I'm going to be busting this out and shooting daily content, oh shit. See, I don't like that. It's going to fall out. Look. It's going to fall out. If I'm going to be doing that, I want it to be easy. And so I was thinking, is there a gimbal that I could buy that would replace this, that would give me the functionality of, so I can still put my phone in it, I can still plug in my wireless go from Rode in the Thunderbolt Type-C connection, the USB-C. And is there one that gives me the ability to control the device from the device or from the handle, not from having to go up to the phone and everything? And you know that there is, right? Of course there is. There's probably a whole bunch of them. But I stumbled upon the DJI Mobile or Osmo Mobile. In fact, they're up to number 8 of this series. And so what I want to do on this stream is take a look at this product, learn a little about it. Then I've got 3 different videos, one from DJI themselves introducing the DJI Osmo Mobile 8, and then 2 separate YouTubers who've used it already. It's been out for a little while, so it's not a brand spanking new piece of tech, but it is something that I think may benefit me and not that expensive. We're looking at under $200, which in tech terms is cheap, right? Now you might say, well, why don't you just get a camera? Like, why don't you use a DJI? I don't even know what the DJI GoPro equivalent is. Or why don't you use your GoPro? No. I've already got the phone. The phone is sick, right? This is so sick. I really like the quality that this comes. The audio's bunk, but if you use a proper microphone, which I do have now, then this is sweet. Great vision, all auto exposures, all that cool stuff. It just works for you. Now, this would not take the place of my GH5 when I'm doing live streams, but this would take the place run and gun style when I'm out about shooting a daily vlog on a stream road trip style. So that's what I want to do. Yeah, we'll get into that momentarily or after the break. But top of the show, a couple of things here. Oh, yeah, yesterday I had a great time. So in my day job, right? It's nothing. I mean, my day job's whatever. It's good. It's fine. Whatever. It's done me quite well. It's good. It's fine. It's good. It's fine. I'll say that a few more times. It's good. It's fine. But yesterday, there was a private charter for a Bucks weekend or a Bucks day. And the idea was to pick up these 9 individuals and take them to wineries in the area. The South Coast is quite famous for a whole bunch of the wineries. And I was the designated driver. And these guys were locals right here in town. And so yesterday, for the first time of my, I guess, of 5 years doing this job, I had a really, really good time. I mean, I've had good times before. Actually, I've had plenty of good times on that job, but this was a highlight, right? So I just picked these guys up and we got along really well. Straight off the bat, they were just really fun dudes. The guy who was getting married, pretty sweet guy. Yeah, we went out there. We put on music. We cruised out to this first winery. I took them to 4 different places. We hung out. By the end of it, they were all quite toasty. And yeah, bless their souls. Yo, Hendrick's in the house. G'day, Hendrick. Check this out. Right on cue, man. They got me a bottle of port. Mountain Ridge Winery, Tawny Port from South Australia, mate. I don't understand why it's from South Australia, though, because Mountain Ridge Winery is just up the road from here. Yeah, these guys were like, what do you like to drink, man? I'm like, I like port. And so they came back the $30 bottle of port, ideally taken at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maximum pleasure can be achieved by drinking with hard cheese, nuts, These nuts, chocolate and ripe fig. I almost said rape. Shit. Note flavors of citrus, rind, raisin, mocha, and soft chocolate. Mountain Ridge Wineries from Coolangatta Road, Coolangatta. I don't understand why this is a product of South Australia. I don't understand that. That tells me that the grapes are not local. So wheat, mate. Yeah. And then, if that wasn't enough, the last place we went to was not a winery. It was a brew house, a brewery. And in North Nowra, which I didn't even know was there. Like, there's all these little pockets of places that pop up. Like, you go right up Illaroo Road all the way as far as you can, do a little zigzag right, left, right, whatever, go into this little industrial estate, and there's a brewery up there, like a beer brewery. There's a venue in there, like a live music venue. And so we went in there, or they went in, and they were like, man, you got to come in for because I was waiting in the bus, right? When they were off doing their thing, doing the winery stuff, I was in the bus just death scrolling on Twitter, listening to the H3 podcast and doom scrolling. But then they said, no, you got to come in, man. By that stage, they were all... So I went in and had one beer with them. They bought me a beer, and yeah, we sat down and had a good chat with one of the guys and just talking about music. And it just reminded me of, like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't know what it was a good time is all I'm saying. And I guess I haven't had a good time in a while. And, like, it's a bit odd that I had a great time hanging out with 9 dudes. It is what it is. But, you know, it was fun. And my ultimate point here is I don't even know what my point is. I just had a good time and I wanted to share it. That's all. Now I got something caught in my eye. Could this be a glimmer of hope? Nope, it's an eyelash. I haven't had a drink in 7 years in April. Man, you must be getting real thirsty. No, congrats, man. I lived near the Port of Brisbane for about 20 years. The Port of Brisbane. Tawny Port. Yeah, I had some last night. I won't have one now. I'm going to have oh man. It is nice. Oh, what? That is real nice. I will have a homebrew, though, in a little while. I'll go and grab that. But the other thing I was going to say is, did anyone catch, we're not going to watch it here, but did anyone catch the Hock Tour Girl on Channel 5 News, the All Gas No Brakes new channel? I'll just bring it up. Hock Tour Girl. Channel 5 with Andrew Callaghan. This interview here, I don't know. I mean, we probably could watch it. I don't want to watch it again. It was extremely infuriating watching her talk.
So the day that
I don't want to go through it all, but man, I just watched it just now, and like some of the stuff she was saying, like. So the thing is, right? The thing is, she says she had nothing to do with the scam, right? She was just giving her name and her fame, whatever you want to acclaim that is, her fame, the fame, the 5 minutes of fame that she had. She was lending her likeness, her IP, if you like, her I'm going to say intellectual property. Well, it is for her, it's not. She was giving herself to something, right? And the something she was giving herself to immediately rugged and scammed everybody that was outside of the inner circle, let's say. The problem with that is that it's now been months, like 6 months or whatnot since then, more than 6 months, right? Like probably close to 10 months, maybe close to a year now. Whatever it's been so long that she needs to take accountability for that and potentially apologize. Now, I watched this and I'll be honest, it's close to an hour, but I watched it and I don't believe she said sorry to anybody. All she said over and over again was, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's not one of those things. You need to take accountability that something that you put your name on is ultimately, categorically, a scam. Now, I'm not saying you're responsible for it, but you need to accept that your name is part of it. Now, there is a lawsuit ongoing, a class action lawsuit, which I'm a part of, by the way. I'm involved in that. I've not said anything about that because I mean, I just don't have anything really to add except that I'm one of the people involved. I got contacted by the law firm Berwick, and I responded and said, yes, I did invest, and so I would like to be part of it, and I am part of it. So, and I didn't go deep in it in terms of investment money wise, but I went enough in to want it back, right? But the problem I have with her, the interview, this Andrew Callahan is a great interview. I've watched his stuff for years, the all gas no break stuff, but he's doing his Channel 5 thing instead. Or he's doing both now, but he has a Louis Theroux kind of approach where he appears to be asking very generic, easy questions, but they're the questions that need asking, and they're the questions that require answers, not just of Hock Tua, but of also other guests that he's interviewed. The only problem I had with this interview, he never held her accountable. He never said, do you not find yourself in any way, shape or form partly responsible? He didn't do that. He just let her, in this instance, he just let her go. And he did ask her some hard-hitting questions, but he never gave her the chance. Not that she was going to, because I don't think there's much up there. I think I don't think she's a very smart person. She's got this thing that's happened to her, and I think she needs to take responsibility and say, hey, look, this was my name that I put to it. Now that's my bad. I apologize for that, and I apologize for those that got wrecked in the process. There is a lawsuit pending. Her name's mentioned in it as well, so she might have some. Well, she's being cleared by the SEC because, as it's very clear, right? She obviously has no knowledge of what she got involved in. Now that's a big forehead slap from the beginning, right? If you're just going to go deep in something and you didn't even know what, it's like saying I got involved in a lot of money and so I went and bought a helicopter. Have you ever flown one? Are you going to get your license? No, I'm just going to spend money. Like you need to have some knowledge of the thing that you're dumping your money into. In this case, the thing that you're putting money into to ultimately take a lot more money back out, right? It's an investment for her. Hendrik, so I have the Osmo 5. You have the Osmo 5 for the phone, and even that is fantastic. I wonder what the Osmo... Yeah, we'll get into that, man. We'll get into it. Jason, what coin or thing was it? The Hock Tua coin. Yeah, the rug pull. Dalesky, what to do? How you doing, Dale? H-Man, a lot of media personalities are seeing that TV and radio are dead and are going sideways into podcasting and streaming. Yeah. Well, she went into the podcasting side of things as well. And then into that world, she also dipped her feet into crypto scams. Obviously, it wasn't pitched towards her as a scam, but ultimately that's what it was. Melody, how you doing, Melody? Yeah, so my problem with this, and I'd encourage you all to go and watch it. I'd encourage you to go and have a look at it. It's only been up for a day. Look at my comment, man. I posted a comment here. Sort by newest first. Why can't that change? Sort by newest. It wasn't doing anything. I just posted a comment. Oh man, there's way more comments. I just posted a comment a little while back. Okay, so this is getting a lot of traction. Where's my comment? I just posted it like just a short while ago. Here it is, an hour ago. Does she ever take any accountability at all? She leveraged her name and fame to a project that immediately scammed people. Can she not see that, or is she really as dumb as she portrays? Because she comes across intense.
It's shit, man.
It is shit, man. She comes across as intentionally dumb, but I think she just is dumb. This girl rules. Legit the chillest celebrity ever. It's so funny, so down to earth. Shout out Hock Tua. Wow. Did she get her wisdom teeth removed before this interview? This is a waste of time. So it's getting some hate. Can you interview Trump on his rug pull? That'd be good. She either plays as the dumbest smart person on the subject of crypto or the smartest dumb person on the subject of crypto, or it's just one of those things. Fred Durst's daughter? Oh, wow. Yawn. Yeah. I don't know. Look. There was so much that could have been done, or that should have been done in this interview that just didn't get done, and it's a real shame because, you know, like she became famous for just doing something stupid, right? Like something so insignificantly dumb, but then she went on to monetize that, which is good. Nothing like I give her props for what she's done up until the rug pull, up until that, and post that she's really shown who she is. She needs to come out and say, yep, that was a dumb thing I did, 100% dumb. I'll make restitution as best as I can by doing this, this, or this, and I'm going to work on that until it gets all cleared, because I don't want to go down in history as being that girl who scammed everybody via crypto, because that's what you are. You had a snifter of fame and you leveraged your name and you didn't even investigate it. You had a bad decision-making or no decision-making process, and you went in on this thing and it scammed everybody. And that's what I was hoping for. Maybe I got to watch it again. Maybe she did. I found it difficult to listen to it, to be honest. She just draws on about nothing, but she needs to apologize, right? MD Witt, how you doing, man? I'm not sure who's worse, the worst moron, influencers or those who buy their bullshit. Well, I bought into that, and I'll stand on it. When I invested in Hawk Tour, my reasoning was this, or my idea was this: how can Gives a Minute make money off this dumb viral sensation? What could I do to make money from it? Because the thing that she went famous for, it's an off-the-cuff sexual comment made by, some might argue, a rather attractive, I disagree, but some might say attractive woman. She went viral for saying something about sex. Now, sex sells, cute, good-looking girls sell. This had, and she's riding that fame. She went on to have the number 1 or number 2 podcast on the fucking planet. Aside from Joe Rogan, she was the biggest podcaster. Like, let that sink in. And she launches a meme coin that has all the elements of, well, has all the elements of a scam to it, but it also has all the elements of being able to pump and then dump, right? So I was like, how can I make money and then get the hell out? That's what I wanted to do. In every respect, that should have happened. But the problem was the people that she got involved with got in and scammed everybody before she had a chance to. So, or before anyone else had a chance to. I don't think she was going to scam anybody in terms of buying and selling her own token, but she definitely had people that were looking to do a similar. So the guys that, what's his name, the guy that got in, and the dude that's in the lawsuit, he got in earlier and was like, no, we've already got the snipers in. They're going to scam they're going to get in and sell, and then it's going to happen before you even know it's happening. DJ Truth, DJT, the Truth Social token, it's tanking on Wall Street. Is it? Okay, I didn't look into that. I'm so over the Musk influences. The Elon Musk influences? Dalesky, Benon, you are learning. Not all choices work out. Embrace the hard lessons and change. Yeah, well, look. I didn't learn my lesson because I also invested in Trump. I mean, if anyone is not going to rug, anyone would have thought the president of the United States will not rug pull. Come on, man. How can that happen? And there it was. Your president of the United States rug pulled on a crypto meme token. Get that in. Like, let that sink into to my dumb head. Not only did I get done by her, I got done by your guy. So I guess, you know what I didn't get done by, though? I didn't get done by Richard Hart with his ProveX. I stayed away from ProveX. That's funny. I felt like if ever there's going to be a genuine meme token, it's going to be Donald J. Trump, right? That should be solid. He campaigned on crypto. He came out and gave that wonderful speech about Bitcoin and about sacking Gary Gensler. And then all of a sudden, overnight, there's this tweet from his account that's launching a meme token. People are like, nah, man, he's been hacked on. Trump can't launch a token. He's the president. He can't do that. And yeah, he did. And I lost money. I'm in Canada, but I get the sentiment. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm going to go and grab myself beer. Yeah, it's the weekend, man. Beer. I worked yesterday. I deserve a beer. It's Sunday, man. I'm going to go and get myself a home brew. We're going to come back in and we're going to look at this Osmo Mobile 8. We're going to learn all about it and we're going to see how this can play into my workflow. It's not work if you're working. No, it's not work if you're playing. We're going to look at the Osmo Mobile 8. I'll be right back. Here's a surfing clip. Not from recent, from a little whiles ago. Brewski sounds good. Yeah, Sunday, man. And then maybe you know what I'm going to do? I might get a little toasty today. I think I'm going to have a little Lemon Tree Passage Distilling, I'm going to say whiskey, but it's not a whiskey, grain-based spirit, and then a home brew. So I'll be right back with that, and don't you go anywhere. Have a look how tired I looked in that last little bit of footage from that clip. That was my first surf back after Stitches out, I think. Was that right? Maybe it was the second surf, but I was so lethargic. Grain-based spirit, the Black Marlin, the spirit of Port Stevens. This is my friend Marcus Monkey made this. Let's crack a little taster. I've had this before, of course, but I'll just have a... Hey, cheerses. Thank you so much. Comtech's in the house. Hey, give us. How you doing, Comtech? Little Porskies here. Little Porskies. Just a little... This is extremely strong, so we don't want much, and there's not much left in it. And I'm going to have to take a trip to Greenies again soon to get some more. By the way, in the chat, I guess if you invest in markets or crypto, you'll get fucked over. Is that right, Hendrik? Well, how about this? Just the other day, or the other week, I took out some profits of Bitcoin and bought myself the M5 Max Pro, And now that Bitcoin has now dropped back down to 69,000, I'm going to rebuy in and cover my loss. So I don't know. I just took out some money and bought myself a new laptop with the profits. I didn't get fucked over. Prost. 69. Yeah, and as soon as Bitcoin goes lower, I'll just rebuy until I cover the amount that I took out, and then I'm back to where I was. Because we know it's going to go down and up, right? You know what's going down right now? Me on this. Shit. Now, the trouble with you guys, you will never be able to taste this. I really wish you could taste it with me. This is Marcus Monkey and Susan Loy. He makes this. It is really, really tasty. I don't think they'd ship internationally. But wow. You did right. Always watch prices if you're invested. I made sure. I waited until Bitcoin went up to 74,000, and that's when I took some profits off. When it got to 74, I took out enough to cover. So I took out my YouTube AdSense revenue. I took out the YouTube AdSense revenue, and I minused $2,000 from the sale of this laptop, the M1 Max, which isn't selling, but it will sell. I'll have to drop the price even further, but no one. I've only had 2 people interested in 2 weeks, but I'll drop the price a bit lower. So I took out $2,500 from Google AdSense and $2,000 from the sale of this, and then I put in $4,500 to get to 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was over $7,000. And so when Bitcoin got to 74,000, I took out enough to cover the extra 4.5. And now that it's dropped back off, I'll rebuy that and cover my loss. So I basically haven't spent anything except for a little bit here and there. Feeses. So to me, the whole hodl thing is not great. But I've been hodling the whole time. I've been hodling and buying, hodling and DCAing. All last year, I've been buying Bitcoin on the weekly, on a Sunday, dollar cost averaging, no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, buying $100 and moving on. Just buying it and forgetting. For once, I agree with Hendrik. Dale, you know what's good, man? It's good to see Hendrik and Dale sitting in a tree, Kissing. First comes Hendrik. No, first comes Dale, then comes Hendrik, and then comes Shyla in a carriage. That doesn't work at all. The band needs to get back together. You know what's going to happen now? I'm going to get drunk. Homebrew. Again with the spurt. This is a... Yeah, that wasn't even a sentence. All right, let's learn about this DJI. Have I not learnt my lesson, though, with DJI products? The Osmo Mobile 8. In tune with every move, a flagship intelligent tracking phone gimbal. Does she come with the phone? Oh, you. Unfold your creativity. Osmo Mobile 8 unlocks smooth 360-degree horizontal spinning and effortless low-angle shots with direct phone connection. Direct phone connection, not through the, you can already see there, it's not connected via a cable. That's rad, because that means I can still plug in these guys. I probably should have shown you this to make sure that this is clear. I need these, the Rode Wireless Go. Wow, that's really not getting a focus, is it? I need to be able to plug in. These are the microphones I used on my plank videos, and the other day when Claudia gave me a haircut. So one of those goes on to the phone with a little clips onto the phone, and then Type-C connector into the phone, and the other one just goes onto the phone. What did I say? One goes on here on the lapel and one goes on the phone. So it's good that this doesn't have any cable connections. It's just going directly in. Ding dong dang. By the way, let me just taste this beer and make sure it's not off. No, it's good. Oh, hang on. No, it's good. It's not great. Maybe it just it tastes different because I just had the I shouldn't have done that first. That was a dumb move. It's not off. I'm a little cautious though because of that one that was. So anyway, here is the blurb.
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. Don't do me. Just do you. We didn't read this though. We should read this. Or we got videos anyway. Native tracking. I wonder what the tracking's like. Could I track my surfing? I doubt it. Multifunction mode combines human and pet tracking. I don't have a pet though. Lighting and audio capture. Ensuring you. So basically, it uses your phone camera, and just makes it better. I don't know. It doesn't look. Hendrik, you said you've got one of these. When it sits on the ground like these guys here on the right, is it stable? That looks like the wind could blow that over. The feet don't look big enough. Benon, you missed an important comment from Hendrik. I did. It's a gimbal, Dale. I'm afraid Charlotte may no longer be around. I'm so sorry. Charlotte may no longer be around. She's hang on a second. Be clearer with your language, Hendrik. You can track yourself on mine. By the way, Charlotte bought it for me. Oh, wow. Is she okay? Yes, it has a tripod. I know it has a tripod, but is it stable? Like, it's just, the legs don't look like they go out long enough. 10-hour battery life, 3-axis gimbal, easy tutorials, create freely and shine everywhere. So just, okay, sticks on willy-nilly. Okay, it's got a light. Tracking options for every highlight. I mean, you're not really tracking her. She's a stationary object. She's sitting at a table. That's a dumb example. Really? They're going to show a picture of a kid sitting at a coffee table as a tracking option? Unless she's getting up and running around, that's a dumb example. DJI OM multifunction module. The multifunctional module enables precise tracking. So you need the module to track. Attach it to the gimbal to capture heartwarming moments with your pets using your camera or live streaming apps. Okay. Its robust tracking capabilities excel in multi-person scenarios. Okay, well, he's moving with it. That's another dumb example. They're showing tracking and the guy's moving the camera. That's not tracking. You're moving that camera. Did you also not get my comments from me on Discord? No, I read your comments, Hendrik, on Discord. Unless you sent me more. Gibbs, did you share the email regarding the turbo encubulator? I have not yet, Comtech. I have not. How is this tracking if the guy's moving the camera? Anyway, I don't get it. Direct phone connection. Wow, that's so weird. It's like they're showing the wrong. Active track 7. Compose freely and lock onto your subject with ease. Hang on. There's a lot going on right now. Hendrik, you didn't tell me Shyla had died. You just said in the chat that you don't think Shyla is around anymore, which leads people to believe that she died. That's not what you said in the private Discord. Shyla hasn't died unless this is new news. Right? If you're telling me Shyla has passed away and you're telling the chat, then say that. I don't know what, like you said you don't think she'll be around anymore. That tells me you think she died. Unless I'm missing something. But then again, I missed everything last time, so I'm just going to go on with what I was saying until we get confirmation on that. Active track. That's more. Okay, so the camera's moving still though. Okay, I don't really understand how that works. Multifunctional module. That just looks like a light, doesn't it? Even this is a weird graphic. The module's pointing away from the device, yet there's a girl in an outdoor field with light behind her lit up. Are you telling me this light's powerful enough to overpower the sun? Get out of here. These are phony. Fill light. Okay, I won't be getting that. I don't need a light. I don't need that. The iPhone's got one. Although, maybe the module will be good to get. You know what? Let's look at these videos. Here is the official DJI introduction video. Let's take a look at that first. Place keys. Okay. These are just the images that are used on their blurbs. Hendrik, I hope she hasn't died, but she gave me stuff in case she would. And she has been offline for more than a month. She sure has not blocked me on her socials. Okay, so there's no reason to think that she's died then. There's no reason to think that she's dead then. So let's not put that out there unless you have other information. Let's not put it out there that she's died. DJI Mobile, Osmo Mobile 8, the ultimate beginner's guide. This is what we need.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to use the DJI Osmo Mobile 8 properly.
Oh, I can already see something I wanted to know. You can use it in a case. So that means I haven't got to take it out of my case, which is definitely handy, right? I don't want to have to take it out of the case.
What hidden features it has, and how to get the most out of the OM8. At the same time, I'll tell you what my 17 favorite features of this gimbal are.
17 favorite features? Couldn't you just narrow it down to like top 3 or 4? 17. Isn't that all the features? I'm going to tell you my top 100 features of this gimbal. How many features are there? 100. I've never accused anyone of being dead. Hendrik, you literally said word for word, I'm afraid that Charla may no longer be around. I am so sorry. Word for word. I'm afraid that Charla may no longer be around. I am so sorry. That definitely puts the word out there that she passed. Is she sick or something? I'm going to let Hendrik fulfill that. Dale, it is so important that we let people know while they are alive what they mean to us. Don't wait. I'm in the different camp of that at the moment. Sometimes I think it's better not to say anything. No, I don't agree with that at all, Dale. I think it's better to keep stuff to yourself.
And show you how they work. One of the best features of the OM8 is that it's extremely quick to set up and activate. To activate the OM8 properly and quickly, do the following. First, you should fully charge the gimbal via the USB-C port on the side. As soon as the gimbal is charged, remove the clamp and attach your smartphone to the clamp. You should attach the clamp so that the round disc of the clamp is positioned exactly in the middle of the smartphone. It can also be moved to the left and right. On the right, you can see a small picture of a camera. Next to it is a small arrow pointing upwards. This is an indicator of the direction in which the smartphone camera should be located.
So wait a second. This device connects to the iPhone via the magnetic MagSafe, and it passes all the info through the MagSafe? Because you're not plugging it in, right? I didn't realize the MagSafe did all that shit. So you just clamp that thing on and suddenly it's operational. It's kind of cool.
Of the camera symbol. Make sure that the smartphone is completely inside the bracket and that the bracket is straight. Avoid the side of the clamp catching on the edge of the smartphone and leaving a gap. Now you can attach your smartphone to the gimbal. The mounting mechanism is magnetic. Make sure that the clamp snaps perfectly onto the gimbal head. If the clamp is not attached to the smartphone completely straight, the smartphone may be attached to the gimbal slightly tilted and your shots may have a slightly uneven horizon. The gimbal can now be easily activated by turning the gimbal arm straight up. The best way to do this is to hold the smartphone by the clamp. The gimbal will then activate itself. You don't have to balance the smartphone either. This also happens automatically. If the gimbal does not immediately start to stabilize your smartphone, you can activate the stabilization by pressing the M button. If you want to store the gimbal again, first switch it off by pressing and holding the mode button, which is the button at the top here. Now turn the gimbal arm to the left or right so that it is pointing forwards, and then turn the upper part of the gimbal arm to the right until the limit is reached, so that the smartphone is facing upwards. Now you can simply fold the gimbal arm downwards. Make sure that the protruding pin engages in the indentation. You can now remove your smartphone from the clamp and stow the gimbal away. Once you have done this 2 or 3 times, it will work by itself. The second major strength of the Osmo Mobile 8 is that not only the selfie stick is integrated into the gimbal, but also the tripod. To place the gimbal on a flat surface, simply pull the 3 tripod legs out of the handle and you can now use the gimbal to track yourself, for example.
Yeah, it's those 3 tripod legs that don't really appear to be long enough to me. Looks like it might be top heavy.
Just to place it somewhere, but be careful. The tripod is not extremely stable and should therefore be placed on a really flat surface. For a more stable stand, you can attach the gimbal to an additional tripod using the thread here below. When you no longer need the tripod, simply fold it up and push it back in.
I wonder why they didn't just make it a little bit longer to make those legs more stable. Like, holy shitballs. You're going to add a microphone onto it and all this other, like, it's just going to be so, it's just so close to being good, but it just needs a little bit more length, right? It's exactly like yours. So these haven't changed since the 5. You said you had a 5, right?
Sure you don't jam yourself when doing this. To use the selfie stick, simply pull the upper part of the gimbal upwards. The selfie stick has a hinge at the upper end.
Works best on concrete,
to 90 degrees. This means you cannot only use the gimbal optimally to film yourself, you can also use the selfie stick as an extension and use the gimbal in the so-called flashlight mode. The selfie stick is also suitable for using the gimbal in underslung mode and filming subjects from a low perspective. To do this, switch on the gimbal and simply turn the handle upwards. The gimbal will adjust the position of the smartphone to the new situation. When you no longer need the selfie stick, simply straighten the hinge and push it back in. But be careful, the handle is not completely straight on the surface, so you should angle the hinge slightly when pushing the selfie stick in. Otherwise, it will not go in completely. The next great strength of the OM8 is its ease of use. But to be able to use all the features of the OM8, you need to install the DJI Memo app. You can find it in the iOS App Store and for Android on the DJI homepage.
Interesting. So it doesn't default to using the camera app on the phone. You have to, or you recommended to install a Memo app. Dalesky, I'm firmly in the it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all camp. You're camping alone. I'm in the other camp. I'm in the I wish I never I'm in the camp of no, I'm not going down that. I'm in the I don't want to go camping.
As soon as you have activated the gimbal, as I showed you earlier, start the app. The app will show you right at the start whether an update is available. If so, you should install it straight away. We will get back to the most important features of the app later, because before that, I'll show you the most important functions of the individual buttons and the stabilization modes of the gimbal. The gimbal has a small display here.
I understand, but it's
symbol at the top
self-protective
left
mode. It
shows
happens.
whether your
I want to
smartphone is
mow the lawn and
connected
go fishing.
I definitely want to mow the lawn and go fishing. Thanks, MD Wit. How you doing? At the moment, though, I'm just I'm the wrong person to ask about those things. Hendrik, has your problem been? And you need the Memo app to use it, and it will update your drone. Well, I won't use it on my iPad then. And by the way, I haven't used my drone in a long time. It's so cumbersome, man. Anyone want a drone?
The gimbal via Bluetooth. If it flashes, it means it's disconnected. This is the battery level indicator. The color shows the charge level of the gimbal. Green is well charged. Red is empty. The white symbols stand
I
for
want to
the
get a
four
buzz and watch
stabilization
streaming.
modes. The Osmo Mobile 8 has a total of 6 control elements. The mode button, record button, the switch button, joystick, zoom wheel, and on the back the trigger button. If you have ever used a gimbal before, you will get to grips with the OM8 extremely quickly, as its basic operation is similar to that of older DJI gimbals and most other gimbals on the market. You can use the mode or power button to check the battery level if the gimbal is still switched off and folded. If the gimbal is already unfolded but not activated, you can switch it on by pressing the mode button. If you briefly press the mode button once when the gimbal is switched on, you switch to the next stabilization mode. If you press the button 3 times, the gimbal switches to standby mode. This of course saves battery when you are not using it. Pressing it again reactivates it. However, if you press and hold the mode button, the gimbal switches off. But let's switch it on again. With the record button, you can of course start and stop a recording or take a photo. If you press the switch button once, you can switch between the selfie camera and the back camera. If you press it twice, you switch from portrait mode to landscape mode and vice versa. You can also do this manually. To do this, simply turn your smartphone upwards or downwards. But be careful. If you turn your smartphone to the right from portrait mode to switch to landscape mode, the gimbal arm will block the back camera, so always turn it to the left. You can see here on the right that the app has various shooting modes. These are mostly the familiar shooting modes: photo, video, time-lapse, and so on.
I must admit, this seems cool as to be completely frank, I feel like it's overkill for what I need. I just want something that is going to replace this, that I can just chuck my camera in and then just start recording. I guess I'm a little bemused by the fact you've got to install the Mimo app. Like, why can't you just, I guess I answer my own question. When it connects via the MagSafe, it's not activating the camera, it's activating the app, the Mimo app. All I wanted was because I was filming it by holding it sometimes, and I was just holding my camera, and then I was putting it in here, and it just seems so like this. I mean, it's not that expensive. It's less than $200. It looks pretty cool, but I think it's overkill. Once you have it, you'll wonder why you ever did without it, I reckon. Maybe, yeah. It is kind of compact. I mean, this thing here is more compact, but this isn't designed for that. And these don't last long. These legs, as soon as you start manipulating them after a while, they get loosey-goose, and they never work the same as they did out of the box. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I know that if I'm going to do this road trip, and I'm going to do the road trip, but if I'm going to create daily content like I did last time, I'm going to do it on my phone. That's a fact. And it needs to be run and gun. It needs to be straightforward, simple, and quick. And this does look like that. So it is covering those bases for sure.
The switch button 3 times, you can switch back and forth between the video and the photo mode. By the way, I'm going to show you all the functions of the buttons now, but what is particularly important is switch button once, front camera, back camera. Switch button twice, portrait mode, landscape mode. If you press the trigger button once, the tracking function is activated, as you can see. If you press it again, you deactivate the tracking function again. If you press the trigger button twice, the gimbal returns to its starting position. You can also freely change the position of the camera using the joystick on the left. Then
you'll need an Osmo if you want to do that. You mean the Osmo is the camera, right? Is the Osmo the camera, or is the Osmo the tracking device? The gimbal. Yo, Jake, I tweeted out the stream. Thank you, Jake. Cheers, man.
Press the trigger button twice and the smartphone returns to its starting position. If you press the trigger button 3 times, the gimbal turns around and you can film yourself with the back camera, for example.
Because the question, I think Jason just asked it, why buy why not just buy a new one of those? So the question is, and I guess the reason I'm doing this is, or the reason I'm investigating this is because the camera on the iPhone is so good. I don't want to use another camera. I just want to use the camera here. Like, I've got one, right? And I've got ample storage on here, and it looks great, and it's all auto. It's perfect. With these microphones, it's perfect. However, getting one of these gimbals and putting your phone into it, DJI do make a gimbal with a camera in it. Now, then immediately you're missing the point because I just wanted to use my existing camera. I guess I'm in two minds here. If the legs were out, you could just replace it. You can also mount the Osmo. Hendrik, is the Osmo the camera or is the Osmo the tripod? I don't know the DJI products that well. Is the Osmo their little GoPro version? Like, is the Osmo one of these? Their little camera, little action camera? Because the iPhone cameras are so good, man. Like, they're so good. I kind of just want a good tripod, I guess, or an easy access tripod. This looks like it, but again, this does look like overkill. But I mean, it's not that expensive as well.
Makes sense, because on most smartphones, the main camera has a much better recording quality than the selfie camera. One important control element is still missing, the zoom wheel, which has a few...
The Osmo is the gimbal, your phone is the camera. So what do they call their camera then? They've got like one that's got a little camera in it as well.
Functions and an important disadvantage. Of course, you can zoom in and out with the zoom wheel. You can see the changed zoom factor here in the app. As a general rule, you should avoid using a zoom factor between the different lenses of your smartphone. This leads to digital crop and thus to a reduction of the image quality.
Wow.
It would be better to limit yourself to the zoom factors of the lenses of your smartphone.
Yep.
I have an iPhone 16 Pro here, which has 3 lenses. These are labeled 0.5x, 1x, and 5x. This is what the dots stand for. All zoom factors in between or above lead to a digital crop. If you do not turn the zoom...
Can you turn those in-betweens off and only use the lenses? Hope so.
All zoom factors in between or above lead to a digital crop. If you do not turn the zoom wheel, but press it in briefly, you switch to manual focus mode. You can now adjust the focus with the zoom wheel, and what's really cool...
You can get cinematic on these things. Manual focus, man. Nicholas Cole would be stoked, man. Cinematic things.
Do a cinematic manual focus pull. There is also a third mode, the joystick zoom mode. When you activate this mode, you can also zoom in and out using the joystick. But what bothers me about the zoom wheel is that I keep accidentally touching it and changing the zoom factor without meaning to. This can lead to an unintentional and unnoticed reduction of the image quality. To prevent this, you can also deactivate the zoom wheel completely. To do this, tap on the 3 dots at the bottom left, here on the gimbal icon in the middle, and then select off under side wheel mode. Okay, but we haven't talked about the different stabilization modes of the OM8 yet, so that you understand what is meant by stabilization modes. The gimbal has 3 axes. A tilt axis, this enables movements up and down. A pan axis that enables movements to the left and right, and a roll axis that enables lateral rotations. The Osmo Mobile 8 actually has 5 different stabilization modes. Yes, I know, that's a bit much all at once, but you can watch this video again if you need to. It's divided into
5
chapters
stabilization
so that
modes.
you can quickly find the relevant chapter again. So let's start with the pan and tilt follow mode. That's what the symbol in the top left hand corner is for. In pan and tilt follow mode, the gimbal follows lateral movements, that is the movements of the pan axis, and the up and down movements. In other words, the movements of the tilt axis. This mode is ideal for following a subject, for example, and for filming dynamic up and down movements.
I recorded 1.5 hours of Danny Black using the Osmo 5 on Dora. Danny Black. Yeah, wow.
Gives you a lot of freedom and is
Where is
therefore
Danny
not
Black?
ideal for beginners. Let's switch to the pan follow mode. To change the mode, briefly press the mode button once, as already mentioned. The pan follow mode is located to the right of the pan and tilt follow mode. In pan follow mode, the gimbal only follows lateral movements, so only the movements of the pan axis. Up and down movements of the tilt axis are compensated. As in all other modes, you can set the optimum angle with the joystick before starting the recording, and of course also during the recording. The pan follow mode is of course
I'm in
also
Switzerland.
suitable for following subjects, and because it does not allow as much freedom, it's more suitable for beginners. The next symbol at the bottom
Do you reckon
right
that's Switzerland or Austria, Hendrik? He's obviously European.
stands for the FPV mode. In FPV mode, the gimbal also follows the movements of the roll axis. This means that lateral rotations can also be performed. This allows you to film very dynamic and natural shots and movements. For example, POV shots.
Looks heaps
If you
natural.
want to have a little more control over the rotational movements of the roll axis, switch to the so-called spin shot mode. In this mode, you can turn the smartphone sideways by pressing the joystick
Eastern
to the left
Switzerland.
or right. For
Eastern
example,
Switzerland.
you can film a straight forward movement and simultaneously perform the rotation with the joystick. I would say that you don't need the FPV and the spin shot mode that often, but you can achieve very interesting effects with them. On the other hand, if you only want to film a very simple forward movement or a sideways movement, for example a dolly
He
forward
has a combo
or a
German
sideways
French.
revealing
I
shot,
reckon he has a German Swiss accent going on.
then you can lock all three axes. The gimbal will compensate for all movements.
Lock
it's
mode.
very simple. You use the joystick to determine the correct shooting angle. For example, in pan and tilt follow mode. And then press and hold the trigger button. Now the stabilization mode symbol disappears and you are in lock mode. All movements are compensated. Personally, I often use this mode when I want to take simple cinematic shots. However, the freedom
Dude.
of movement is of course very limited. By the way, if you are interested in which camera movements you should master with a gimbal and which movements are useful for which type of shot, then take a look at my corresponding tutorial after
then
this
take a
video.
look.
To get started, I would simply recommend using the gimbal in pan follow or pan and tilt follow mode. And check this out. Unlike its predecessor, the OM8 can now rotate a full 360
The Alps are
degrees on the
Swiss,
pan
Austria,
axis.
France, Italy,
This is
Germany.
an important new feature, especially if you want to
A Swiss accent is German/French. There you go. Okay. So you're agreeing. Whoa, is that the second time in this stream that you and Dale have agreed on something? Shit me. The band is back together. Is there a solo album coming? What? I don't even know what that is. A solo album? The band's back together though.
track yourself with
Holy
the
shit,
gimbal.
this video's only halfway through? Man, this guy's going detailed. Second agreement tonight? What the fuck? Yeah, man, the worlds are colliding.
In addition to the basic stabilization function and the ability to perform cinematic camera movements, the most important
Tracking.
features of a modern smartphone gimbal is definitely the automatic tracking of subjects. You can place the gimbal somewhere and track and film yourself.
I'm going to go surfing and try tracking. It'll be like, no, the subject is too far away. Can't do it.
Or you can hold the gimbal, select a subject and ensure that the subject is kept in the center of the framing by means of tracking. This can be extremely useful. You basically have three options for tracking with the Osmo Mobile 8.
That's pretty
Tracking
cool.
in the DJI Memo app, Apple Dock Kit, and tracking with the multifunctional module. For the best results, the most features, and to track objects or animals, you need to use the DJI Memo app.
I want to track the subject and go surfing. I might use AI to make different versions of the I wannas. I want to track the subject and go surfing. That's got to be one. I'll get a highlight of that or a screenshot so I remember. I can feed. What's a good? Actually, this is great. What's a good AI? Actually, we can do that after this. After we finish this, we'll do that. We'll use an AI to generate a version of that person saying, I want to mow the lawn and go fishing, but we'll change it to, I want to track the subject and go surfing. NASA, get your rockets going. Worlds are colliding.
Activate the tracking function by pressing the trigger button once. Then the app will automatically select the subject to be tracked and try
Artemis
to follow
2.
the subject.
Oh, we've got that too. I got those videos that you posted, Dale. Well, you know what? I'll do the AI shit myself, and yeah, we'll go on to the Artemis because I want to go to Mars too. The moon.
Or you can start tracking by drawing a frame around the subject to be tracked. If you press the trigger button again, the tracking will
I want to draw a frame and go tracking.
stop again. When tracking with the app, you can adjust the framing slightly by changing the position of the subject using the joystick. You may want the subject to be positioned
There's
along-
no way in hell this is going to work for surfing. Like I'm like the second I paddle out, it'll be like can't find subject, too far away. Artemis will no longer land on the moon. Fuck you, man. Is that because it's flat?
the lines of thirds rather than in the middle. The OM8 has a useful feature that is
The lander needs
unfortunately
further testing? They've been testing it since 1969, man. Shit. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. It's phony.
somewhat hidden. Keep composition. It makes sense, for example, if the head of your subject is always in the upper third and not in the middle. This simply looks much better. If you have now optimally adjusted the composition using the joystick, take a shot and track a subject, and then deactivate tracking again using the trigger button, it would be useful if this composition was automatically reactivated when you start tracking again. That way, you don't have to set the optimum composition again using the joystick.
There's a lot going on here, right? Like, I mean, I like all this stuff, but I don't know. It seems like a little bit too much for what I need.
And that's exactly what Keep Composition does. Once a subject's position has been set, it's reactivated when tracking is resumed. The function is reset by pressing the trigger button twice and, of course, whenever you close the app. And that,
You know what'll happen though? I'll go on this road trip and I'll start shooting content with this thing and it'll all be shit and you'll be like, that's because you skipped that video, dude. This Swiss French guy gave you all the details and you didn't really pay attention. You've only got yourself to blame, Gibbs.
That's not the only special tracking feature of the OM8. Let's assume there are multiple people in the frame. Then it can be difficult.
That person's, something's wrong with their face. You better get that checked out. Their face is all blurred. What's going on? Ah!
To select the right subject, or perhaps to quickly switch back and forth between one subject and another. And that's what Smart Capture is for. You activate it by tapping on the icon with the dot and then on Smart Capture here in the middle. As soon as Smart Capture is active, the app detects all subjects in the image and you can easily select which subject should actually be tracked by simply and quickly tapping on a detected subject. Unlike Keep Composition, this feature is not available if you are using the multifunctional module. And there is another special tracking feature. When you activate Dual Lens Boost, the telephoto lens and the wide main lens are used simultaneously to improve tracking performance. This is especially useful for very fast movements and high zoom factors. However, this only works on iPhones with a telephoto lens. I am an absolute solo creator. Almost all of my videos have
You're
been
not solo, dude. There was a person right there with you.
created by me alone. That's why it's important for me to be able to activate tracking and start recording from a distance. And that's why I find gesture control on a gimbal extremely important and useful. You also activate gesture control via the icon with the dot. And then down here, if we rotate the gimbal, you can see this better. You have the choice between follow and shoot only. The difference is easily explained. Gesture control recognizes two hand gestures, the open hand and the peace sign. But both have the same function. Once activated, you perform one of the two gestures, and depending on whether you have selected follow and shoot or shoot only, the hand gesture activates tracking and starts a recording. Or in the case of shoot only starts a recording without tracking. If you repeat the hand gesture, the recording is stopped again.
It's so detailed.
Well, you should not be
There's two different recording modes. No one needs all that shit, man. DJI, just make it simple.
too far away from the gimbal, and so not further away than 4 meters. But if tracking in the app works so well, why do you need this multifunctional module?
True.
It's easy to explain. You may not only want to use the Osmo Mobile 8 with the DJI Memo app, but prefer to always shoot with your smartphone's native camera app, or take a video with a social media app like TikTok or Instagram, or you want to use your smartphone's camera for a video conference. Of course, you can also use any gimbal to stabilize your smartphone in all these cases. But what usually doesn't work is tracking. And this is where the multifunctional module comes into play. You attach it magnetically and by means of a locking mechanism to the outside of the clamp of the gimbal. To remove it again, simply press the button on the back. And you can then take it off. The camera of the module must face in the same direction as the camera you want to film with. This means you can mount the module in both directions. The module is always active and ready for tracking when you are not using the gimbal with the DJI Memo app, meaning it works independently of the app and the smartphone. It communicates with the gimbal and not with the smartphone, so it even works when the smartphone is switched off.
Fuck, this is all a bit weird, but I think I should get that. But it's all a little bit convoluted.
Activate tracking by
But what I understand is Apple will probably buy that and they'll have it in the smartphone soon. These modules are new? Yeah, the module seems like a new thing.
The trigger button. The module now automatically selects the subject. This is another reason why it only works with people and not with objects. But it also supports tracking dogs and cats. You can now see that the small LED light on the front lights up green. This means that the module is actively tracking a subject.
Okay, I'm getting that.
Similar to the app, you can now correct the position of the subject.
And by the way, he's using that on the front-facing camera. And he's using it inside the camera app, so I don't need the Memo app fuck that Mimo app from DJI. I'm just going to use I'm going to get the module and use that's it, man. I don't need all that extra stuff, right? I think we've just answered my questions. The answer to both my questions.
And therefore the framing using the joystick. You will remember that I said that even the keep composition feature works in conjunction with the module. And this is also important, the module also recognizes hand gestures. But absurdly, these are now different than those used with the app. This is because the module can perform 3 different functions using hand gestures. With the open hand, you can activate and deactivate tracking with the module. With the P sign, you start or stop a recording. And with this symbol, the 2 L's, you can correct the composition from a distance. That's
the L symbol.
You make the hand gesture. The LED on the module now lights
funny.
up yellow.
And for zooming in features, put the L on your forehead.
Is deactivated. You take a new position and make the hand gesture again. As you can see, tracking is reactivated again with the new composition, but the multifunction...
You know what he's not doing though? He's not moving very far. Like he's keeping within like an axis of like 15 degrees, which by the way, they've already got that. And I think, oh yeah, on the M5, I'll have FaceTime camera with that feature in it. You know, when you're on a FaceTime call, you can move and the camera will track with you. It's obviously software, right? It's not hardware. In this case, it's hardware because the camera is physically panning and tilting, but he's not going very far with it. But it would still be handy to make sure that you're in the center of the frame whenever I do a video.
There's some similarities.
There are some similarities. 15 degrees of levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit. By the way, Dale, if you could find, this will be super difficult to find. Let me just pause for a second. Speaking of bringing in some more sound drops, audio drops, if you can go back in time and somehow find a Cincy stream from the golden era of DLive where he says there's levels to this shit, I would get that audio and we'd make that into a drop. I would pay for a month and add that into the system because there was many times that he said there's levels to this shit, right? But I think it'd be very difficult to find that given that he's no longer around. But did he ever post on YouTube? Did he ever like not multi-stream, but multi-post like the VODs? That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be, because that was his thing. There's levels to this shit. Cincy, what a cool dude. Remember we had a panel discussion one time? Cincy was on it? That was cool.
Module is not called that for nothing. It has 3 other useful features. It has 2 buttons on the side. If you press the first button, you activate the fill light to improve the exposure in low light conditions. If you press the same button again, you can adjust the brightness.
Okay, so there's a fill light. Okay, I mean that's... Now, by the way, just looking at where that is in terms of... Well, that's not near the camera. Okay, I was going to say that could be spilling over onto the lens flare on the camera. I used to use that a lot, yeah. You spoke to him a couple of months ago. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Cool, Cincy.
Light has 4 brightness levels. It switches off again on the 5th press. The rear button also has something to do with the light. You can use it to adjust the color temperature of the light by pressing it repeatedly. Okay. It's also cool that you can control the light with the zoom wheel. To do this, press and hold the zoom wheel. Now the light switches on. By turning the wheel, you control the brightness.
Oh, that's cool.
If you press the zoom wheel...
Is this device battery powered on its own, or is it powered from the gimbal?
Again, you can control the color temperature with the zoom wheel, and if you press and hold it again, you can switch the light off again. The light is a nice feature, but you shouldn't expect too much from it. Yeah. It's also cool that the module has an integrated receiver for DJI microphones. It works with the Mic Mini, Mic 2 and Mic 3, so you don't need to use a receiver on your smartphone to get good audio quality. However,
there's a mic there. Fuck you, man. I'm going to use my own mic. I got Rode mics, man. There are levels that DJI need to work out, but you can adjust it. There are levels. Dalsky, I spoke to the Joker a few months back. Now that was a fun as hell. What a dipshit. Yeah.
You will need a supplied cable for this. You connect it to the back of the module and connect the other side to your smartphone. Now activate the Bluetooth pairing by pressing and holding the rear button for 2 seconds. The 2 LEDs at the bottom will now flash green.
I'm not using
now
DJI microphones. I'll skip this bit.
The LED lights.
I'm not using a microphone.
If you have
charging with the module.
but the supplied cable and the module also fulfill another function. If you have connected your smartphone to the module via cable, you can briefly press the M button twice. The gimbal will now charge your smartphone via the module. This is great and of course also works while using the gimbal and during a recording. You can therefore continue shooting even if your smartphone battery is running low. The only important thing is that the gimbal itself is sufficiently charged.
Okay.
If you press the M button twice again, the charging function is deactivated again. This is the only way to use the gimbal as a power bank during active use. But if you don't need the gimbal at the moment, you can use it as a power bank in another way and without the module. To do this, fold it up and connect it to your smartphone using the cable, but this time on the side, so at the charging port, and the smartphone starts charging automatically.
Okay.
For some smartphones, you also need to press the M button. Make sure that the gimbal is sufficiently charged in this case too. But we haven't talked about an important new feature of the OM8 yet, the third option for tracking with the gimbal, Apple Dock Kit. Dock Kit is Apple's...
What the hell? There are so many things to know about this, dude. Am I getting this wrong or is this overkill? Does anybody else think this is overkill? We're talking about recording video on a phone. The gimbal is there to stabilize it mainly and to give you a selfie stick. There's so many options in here. Claire has left Michigan, road tripping it back to Colorado. Well, how's Suki going, Dale? How's Suki going? Yeah, I got a little thing going on in my head. I got some. The cogs are in motion up there. You would think that ICE deported Joker back to Mexico. Suki, who dat? Yeah. You would say that. I got suspicions in my mind, man. Now that I'm a single man, my cogs and my wheels are moving, and I understand the worlds are colliding, man. I understand what's going on over there. I get it.
Integrated tracking technology and, like the multifunctional module, enables tracking outside of the Memo app. The gimbal connects to the iPhone via NFC. It's very easy to do. The NFC field of the gimbal is located here on the right side between the record button and the switch button.
So wait a second. So to cut back to what he said at the very beginning of this video, he said you need to use the Memo app. You actually don't. If you buy the module, you don't need to use the Memo app. And by the look of it, there's no module on there right now. He hasn't got the module and he's using tracking inside the regular camera app. I reckon I'm not going to get the module. Fuck the module. Well, the module will be good for a little bit of fill light. It's pretty lame. No, I'm not going to get the module. Or, I don't know. I'll get the module. I won't get them. I will get the... No, I'm not... I can't decide.
Technology and, like the multifunctional module, enables tracking outside of the Memo app. The gimbal connects to the iPhone via NFC. It's very easy to do. The NFC field of the gimbal is located here on the right side between the record button and the switch button. On the iPhone, it's to the right of the cameras. Now hold the NFC field of the iPhone against the NFC field of the gimbal. To do this, both devices must be turned on, of course, and the iPhone must be unlocked with the home screen active.
You got to have the device turned on. Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Don't forget to activate Bluetooth. This message will now appear and you can connect the devices. You only have to do this the first time. After that, the gimbal will connect automatically. Dock Kit only works when you remove the multifunctional module. When you launch a supported app...
Whoa. Dock Kit only works when you remove the multifunctional module. Man, there is a lot going on here. So DJI have a product, a hardware product that... Okay, let me, by the way, I see that comment from Dale. Just know you're wrong, Hendrik. Okay, so well, that's a separate, okay, so hang on. This gimbal has the ability to manually override your camera on your existing smartphone, iPhone in my case, which is a really sweet camera. So you can add the gimbal and then you can get the functionality of being able to use the buttons to record and do selfies and it's super simple and easy. Or you can do that and you can add another device, a hardware device called the module, the multi-node module, Once you add that, you open up the option to better tracking. So there's a better tracking feature, and it gives you microphone and fill light, not a very powerful light, but a light nonetheless. Or the second, or you can use NFC, which is a technology that's been in iPhones since Apple Pay, because that's how you tap to pay with NFC, near field connectivity, I think it was. You can use that to do the same thing without the module. So DJI have basically like they've cut themselves in the foot, because like they've got a product, it does one thing, you add a little extra module to it, it does another thing, but you can also take the module away and just use Apple NFC and it does the same. It's too much, man. Mine has no extra modules. I wonder if, and yours wouldn't have an NFC chip in it either. So, I mean, for my case, because I said very clearly, I just wanted a device that would replace this. I've already got the Rode microphones. So I just wanted a device that would be easy to put my phone in and run and gun shoot content. So it looks like if I get the Osmo Mobile 8, don't get the module, but activate the NFC component, do that once, and then I've got tracking. So whenever I'm shooting content, I don't have to really, I know it's going to track me, and I can move it around a little bit. I'm not going to go surfing with it, but it's going to track me most of the time, right? Like in the frame. Yeah, I think we've definitely answered my questions here, and it's not that expensive either. It's like under $200. By the way, this guy's in a place called Murano by the look of his weather app. Where the fuck is Murano? Let me go to Google Maps. Does anyone want to put money on this, where Murano is? Google Maps. Google Maps. Murano sounds, to me it sounds Swiss, but it might also be France. Murano, Italy. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you, man. I guess, yeah, it's obviously Murano. Yeah. Okay, I was wrong. And look how beautiful it is in Murano. I want to go there, man. I want to go to Murano. I want to Murano, and I want to meet an Italian girl, and look at that place, man. Wow, beautiful. Had some good times in Italy, actually. Wow, it's pretty.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. That's a good idea. If only I was into fishing. I'm not.
Such as the iPhone camera app, you can start tracking as usual with the trigger button.
Hang on. Let's go back a bit, because this is going to be me. I'm not going to get the module, and I'm going to just use this.
Connect the devices. You only have to do this the first time. After that, the gimbal will connect automatically. DockKit only works when you remove the multifunctional module. When you launch a supported app, such as the iPhone camera app, you can start tracking as usual with the trigger button.
Easy.
When tracking with DockKit is active, the green light here flashes.
I'm not getting the module, because to use the NFC chip, you have to unattach the module. So why get it for a lousy light and a microphone? Got a mic, got good lights.
Light on the back of the gimbal arm head will also flash. That's useful if you are filming yourself with the rear camera. In the iPhone camera app, you can also start and stop recording with the gimbal's record button. In addition to the iPhone camera app, most social media apps such as Instagram or TikTok are also supported, as are video conferencing apps such as Google Meet or Teams. You can deactivate tracking by pressing the trigger button.
What about Skype? Huh? Skype? What the fuck is Skype, man? Where are you living? The Dark Ages?
Button again. DockKit is useful because it doesn't consume as much energy as the multifunctional module, but it also...
So they're not selling the multifunctional module is a power drain, and I'm not seeing much in favor of it. I just farted.
Because it doesn't consume as much energy as the multifunctional module, but it also has disadvantages. It only works with iPhones, it is not supported by all apps, and tracking is not as responsive and smooth. For the best possible tracking experience, you should use the Memo app if possible.
No.
And the DJI Memo app has a few more very useful features that you should definitely know about. But before I show you these, a few words about the basic settings. Before you even start recording, you should
The
set
basic settings? Haven't we passed that by now? I just farted. Me too.
the resolution and frame rate in the app. If you're not very familiar with the camera settings, you can simply use 4K and 30 frames per second to start with. You can set the exposure completely manually.
Of course you can. All that crap.
Standard.
Yeah.
The advanced. Very importantly, activate Dolby Vision. Significant impact, particularly bright areas in the phone. I would definitely activate this feature. And in the gimbal settings, you can calibrate the gimbal or adjust the joystick speed. And this icon stands for the glamour effects. These are a kind of beauty filter with which you can smooth the skin or enlarge the eyes. I'm not a particularly big fan
Enlarge the eyes?
Though at my age, one or two of these filters might be useful. We saw that.
Are you seriously not going to show us the enlarged eyes, man? Show me your beautiful, beautiful eyes. App updates are over a gig. Really? That's a lot, man. That's a big update.
3 times, you can switch back and forth between the photo and the video mode. But the app, of course, also offers other modes. There are the usual hyperlapse.
All right. We don't need all that shit.
Step by step of panorama. The gimbal on a 8 will now automatically take a clip. And in story mode, the app helps you create a cool montage of step by step. The result can be
Okay. I'm just getting to the end of this.
Don't forget, attach the clamp correctly for optimal stability.
There's not much else there that we need that. Look. What was that noise? I think it's just the house settling in the wind. It's kind of a windy day here. Well, I'm going to get one. I think I've answered my own question. Although I should, in the interest of satisfactory research here, let's open up ChatGPT. Also, I want to test my ChatGPT button if it works. If I press one button on my Stream Deck, it should put ChatGPT up on the screen and it should zoom deep in. It did not, because I was in full screen. Okay, so we still got to work on that. I was in full screen. No, I wasn't in full screen though. Fuck you, man. Okay, so I haven't got that stuff, but there it is. But I wanted to ask, is there a good alternative to the DJI Osmo Mobile 8? Because this is one company. There could be others. There are solid alternatives to the DJI OM8. Okay, and some of them beat it depending on how much you care about. Insta 360 Flow Pro 2, HOEM iSteady V3 Ultra, Zhiyun Smooth 5S AI. Of course, AI is in the name. That's the Insta 360 is the closest direct, that needs to be larger, closest direct competitor to the OM8. Selfie stick, super compact, Apple Dock Kick tracking. Yep, great app. If you want DJI but not DJI, that's the one. Hendrik, you may actually have seen some Peter Bibby footage shot on the Osmo 5. Oh, cool. Yo, Flowski in the house. How you doing, Flowski? The HOEM iSteady V3. More flexible tracking, works outside proprietary apps, separate AI tracking module. Okay, the Zhiyun Smooth 5S AI. Bigger, heavier, more control. No. Budget friend. Okay, so I'm going to get the DJI. Yeah, I'm going to get the DJI one. Okay. But what we want to do now, I'm going to, because we talked about the Artemis, we're going to wrap the stream up by watching Artemis crew give Lara Trump a tour of the Orion spacecraft. This is how we're going to wrap the stream here, folks. This Fox News article.
The crew of the Artemis 2 are boldly embarking on this journey back to the moon. But what will it actually look like for them inside the Orion spacecraft on launch day? Well, they showed us a mock-up of their capsule to give us the play-by-play.
This is really
Oh
a
my gosh.
completely accurate volume.
Wait. Is this Donald Trump's daughter? Lara Trump? I mean, I'm assuming, right? I mean, I guess there's more than people with that name, but that's Donald Trump's daughter, right?
Play.
This is really
Oh my
a
gosh.
completely accurate volumetric mock-up of the vehicle. It's currently in its launch configuration, so we have 4 seats in there, but actually seats become not useful at all once you're in microgravity. So we'll be
No. Lara is married to his son. Oh, this is Donald Trump's son's wife. And therefore she's a reporter, or she already was a reporter? Not blood relative. Okay. And these are the astronauts that are going to go up to Mars, but to the moon, but not touch down on it.
there, but actually seats become not useful at all once you're in microgravity. So we'll be disassembling those. We're telling ourselves it'll feel much bigger after that happens, but we'll see.
I just want you to visualize, like, we're right here, but we are 274 feet off of the Earth. We're at the top of the Statue of Liberty when we climb into this.
I got to say something, man. As a Trekkie, I'm a Star Trek head now. Can someone please, as this thing gets closer to launch, can someone just please go engage? Someone has to do that, surely. Someone has to, right? Engage.
It's crazy to think about. And
Only Trekkies will know what that's from.
the wind is
I'm a
blowing
Trekhead
and the
now.
gantry is,
Our teammate, who did
Ben
it
and he's
before,
finally a Trekkie. Yeah, dude, I'm in that universe now. I know all that shit, right? Picard, yeah. Like, you know what, man? I said this last time, Flowski, on the stream a couple of weeks ago. I'm so into that show now. Hey, who would have known in 1991 when I wasn't even close to being interested in Star Trek? That show is pretty good. Like, it's got me. It's got me. Yeah, it's good. It's real good. It's the only one I cared about. I didn't like Deep Space Nine, Voyager, or the original. The original was. It's hard to explain because the original was the idea, the concept, the birth, and it has validity, but the timing of it, like the effects and like the green screens, and I feel like at least, and I haven't seen anything past where I'm at right now in terms of the canon of Star Trek, but I think in the early 90s there was enough technology to make things, like to make space footage look convincingly real. So I feel like, actually, this is what I did say last week. The thing that really got me on board was that it's become more personal. Like the stories aren't so much about like what was that one on the original, or on TOS, the original series, where there was a lake of oil that became a monster because it had feeling or something. That's just dumb, right? But in the Next Generation, definitely like post season 3, I feel like season 3 was where they really got their stride going. Now I'm into season 4. There's stories in there that involve like, you know, like we see, you know, the family of Worf, and like there's a story there where no one can dream. They can't enter a rapid eye movement, and so their dreams are affecting where they are in the space. All this stuff is a little bit more believable and convincing, more than a lake of oil becoming a monster. Like, it's just so dumb, right? In the 60s, the original was way ahead of its time. I will say this, Dale, the original series, if you pair the TOS to Doctor Who, which was screening simultaneously in this different territories, one was in the UK and one was in the USA, Star Trek is miles ahead of Doctor Who. Like, Doctor Who is archaic in terms of their like production values and set designs. Star Trek was already like jumping ahead. It's pretty cool. Doctor Who was lame. I mean, it was, yeah, and it was, yeah. William Shatner is real on Twitter. He followed me back. Is that right? William Shatner. The chemistry between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy and Scotty, I didn't like. Yeah, the stories were pretty lame. Yeah, you're right. I am enjoying the Next Generation though. All right, sorry.
Asked him what was it like
Engage.
to be next to the fueled rocket up there on the at the pad. He said it was swaying, and you could tell it was just kind of alive and breathing.
So before you even launch, you're already like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's already crazy from when you're here on Earth.
Which is good. Yes. You know, you need to start internalizing some of that, I feel like.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, we have to get an audio dub of Engage. Daleski, Dale, this is the only thing you need to do in the next 24 hours. Go through all of Star Trek, The Next Generation, and find the cleanest audio grab of Picard saying engage. And I'll crop that into an audio blip. You have to, that's all you have to do, man. Put aside all of your work commitments, all of your personal commitments, everything you were going to do with Sook. Sook! Key! Where's my key? I needed to find my key for a second there. And then do that for me. That'd be great. Cheers, man. Cinch.
And yeah, we have a team that helps us get in with fully suited helmets on. And we kind of make our way in.
I'll drop everything and get right onto it. Okay. No. Stop chatting in the chat. Don't even put comments in the chat. Do it immediately. I'm being silly.
And you've got a good, perfect.
No one else do it for Dale. We've got to let him struggle for 85 hours.
It's not set up for watching.
You know what? The easier, by the way, sorry, Lara Trump. The easier way to do it, because I am currently watching that show, I could just wait until I find one that's really clean and grab it. You don't have to do that. I'm midway through season 4, so I'm sure it's coming up. He does it where he goes. I've noticed a few times he's done a point. He's gone like engage, and then he's done one where he's had like more than one finger out. But we'll get a. All we want is the audio. But I've just noticed that it's not always the same. Like he sometimes just goes to the side of his head like engage. Other times he'll do a full point. Engage. It's pretty funny, actually. I'll get it to you in 69 hours. Of course you will. What's the significance of that number again? I don't know.
As you can tell, but I know that you can squat your way over here. I see
I've been working on my squats just for this.
So this is our commander seat. And we'd love it if you want to take a try in that. So yes, okay. I'll have you come around and
by the way, forget this. They're going to the moon. Who gives a shit? Star Trek's way cooler. I really like how what we're seeing on that show in 1991 is big monitors, like big display panels. Now, like obviously the stuff that's on those panels is just phony graphics. Like they've just programmed it to have like touch screen interface, shows the engine and the hyper flux and all that stuff, but it's all phony. But what they were doing, or what they were pretending to do, we now have. Like we now have touch screens, and there's rumors of I just bought the M5, but there's rumors of the M6 being a touch laptop with touch screen. Like on Star Trek, they had panels that they were holding in their hands that looked like iPads. And they would go into their quarters and they would flick the little screen around and they'd start touching it. But by the way, every time they touch the screen, that would suck. Imagine anytime you click on an application or do anything on your computer, it makes an audible noise. All of sci-fi and all of like technology movies that had like any of those movies that had tech, they all gave an audible response to a touch. It just seems a bit dumb. Netsky's already got it? You got one already, Netsky's? No shit balls. How did you get that? I'm assuming that's what that is. Let me just grab that. Check that video? Okay. I want the tricoder to heal all the diseases. That tricoder, yeah. Set phases to stun. Set your gun to, this is a gun and it can kill you, or we could change the setting to stun. So it's going to shoot the same shit, but it's not going to kill you. It's pretty funny, eh? Like set phases to stun. Here's this link, whatever this, I actually, should I check this? No, it's good.
Engage.
Oh, hang on. No, there's we want one that doesn't have and it's going to be hard to find. We want one that doesn't have background audio. We don't want to hear music. We want to hear a clean Picard engage. I don't want to have to try to remove the audio, the music.
You want to be the one to explain when the captain says engage and we just sit here?
Engage.
Oh, this is all of them? There'll be one in here, surely, though. The food replicator. I want a holodeck. I don't want a girlfriend. I want a holodeck. Actually, I want a girlfriend, not a holodeck.
Engage at warp 9.3. Ensign, engage.
Okay, so this is the whole. You gave us one, but let's go back to the start of this, and we'll try to find one that doesn't have like music behind it.
Engage. Engage at warp 9.3. Ensign, engage. Take us out of here.
Don't wait, don't! Captain. You want to be the one to explain when the captain says engage and we just sit here?
Engage.
Engage.
Engage. Engage. Engage.
That one was like a throwaway. It's like, engage. I'm out of here. Engage.
Engage. Engage. Engage. Data to bridge. Engage. Engage.
Ooh, that one.
Data to bridge. Engage. Engage.
That one's pretty clean. That one's pretty clean. I feel like that one could be ours, right?
Data to bridge. Engage. Engage.
That one, I reckon that one will cut it. I reckon, and it's only like a second, right? But it's going to cut it. Engage. I reckon I've got it, man.
Data to bridge. Engage. Engage.
Yeah, that's clean
Let's
as.
get the hell out of here. Ensign warp 2 now. Engage.
Ooh, there's two there. We could do like an engage.
Hole, bridge the hole,
Or fill the hole, or engage the hole.
Let's get the hell out of here. Ensign warp 2 now. Engage. Engage. Engage.
Yeah, there's two in there, man. Thank you so much for that. I'll keep that out. There's two in there. Can you put the pic of him saying it? You want him to come up on screen? We got Toothboy come. Yeah, okay. We got Toothboy popping up. Should I get Picard with like a cutout so he's just Picard, not on the bridge, just his head? Yeah, I reckon we should. Yeah, so it comes up, engage, and all of a sudden you got Picard over my fucking head. High Res in the house. How you doing, High Res? How you doing, man? Engage. Now, we were watching, what were we watching again? I've forgotten. Oh, no, we're watching this, this Trump, this. Dude, I have to remember to turn that one down. That scares the shit out of me. Damn, dude, that really frightens me.
It is treacherous.
I'm just taking a quick slash,
It's not
folks.
too dangerous here if you move slowly.
This is, I don't think people
But I am still listening.
how small this actually is.
It really is. Now we kind of have a roll-in technique where you sort of get like your
tell me the
torso
tips.
in and then kind of roll your feet up. But there's no great way. That's how that's how I would do it exactly. And then now you just bring your feet up.
You can hold those.
Yep.
Hold the
Anything.
straps.
There's one on the side as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're
So how
great,
long-
like a pro.
Excuse me, how long are you guys like this before you launch?
It can be up to 5 hours.
3 to 5 hours.
Definitely.
That's
There are a lot of people work on that
do we want to go
timeline.
into right now?
That
on
is
process?
good. I have a lot. I have so many thoughts about what I want to ask.
Yeah.
In the 5 hours you're there. Wow. And so you guys take off in this, and you were just telling me that it feels crazy in and of itself just being in this because you're so high up and you're swaying with the wind before you even take off.
That's right.
So you're here for 5 hours, and then when do you feel immediately when you get in space the weightlessness?
Absolutely. I don't
What's it
know.
like?
I don't know about my crewmates, but on the rocket I rode, as soon as that final stage cuts out, instead of being accelerated into the back of your seat, you just sort of float right out of it, and it's just immediately quiet. Immediately, just you're floating. Even though you're cinched into your seatbelts, you can tell that you're just floating right out of your seat.
All right, so you're gonna be like this for you don't even know how long, Victor. You're here, and then finally you guys get into space. And you told me earlier, I think, that you then don't need these anymore. So what happens? So then you get out of these.
Dude, I just had an idea. Sorry to cut in here. Sorry, Lara. What about if I do a trigger and if I do this, if I make this alert, you have to use it with care. If I set up a trigger that allows you to play the theme song for Star Trek, if I do that, you do. Maybe I should set it to like 100 points or something like, because it's going to play the whole theme song. So we could be streaming and you could trigger to play the whole theme song. And by the way, at that point, I'm pretty certain it would also demonetize the stream. But that would be something that you could do if you thought it was appropriate to play the whole fucking theme song for Star Trek. I'm going to do that. It's not going to be set to one. What are the points called on kick? One kick. Is that what they're called? Kicks? Yeah, one kick. I'm going to set it to 100 kicks. So you're going to have to make sure that you really want to do it. No. 1,000? What should I set it to? 1,000 or 1? 1,000 or 100? To boldly, yeah. I'm gonna. Should we call it boldly? You know what? No. There's so many we could add. 69. We could add just an audio clip of "To Boldly Go," and then we could add the song, the theme music. How many points have people got though? Like, do we have? By the way, should we just watch the rest of this? Or I'll just finish this. Sorry, I got excited.
We will get out of them. Let's see if I can get out.
Yep, you're doing it great. I don't even need to instruct you. Nice job.
I mean,
Theme song is a great idea, including this. No, the speaking part we'll do separately. Space, the final frontier. You guys are going to have a field day with that shit though. 69 is getting old. Still fun though.
Maybe the next mission, guys. I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Literally, you're a natural. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know who else is getting old? All of us.
When you're floating, though.
Exactly.
You just
Float out.
very gently come out of your seat.
So then you take.
That's going to be weird. That is going to be weird.
They fold up, and we kind of have a whole puzzle, a 3D puzzle, where we put them here.
I'm not really paying attention to this, but can I tell you this, man? I really love how on my streams you guys trigger the alerts. I really love that. Like a lot of actually no one else does this. No. Most streamers trigger those alerts themselves. I love that you guys can trigger it. I think that's cool. It's interactive, right? Yeah. So these guys are going to go to the moon though.
And we have a net that goes over them. Also, our actual spacesuits and our helmets all kind of go under this net. And then we just live around this bulge, but all this is more open.
That's going to be weird. That's going to be weird.
Where's the
Ben, and your alerts are one of the best parts of your streams. Dude, that's
under
Botrix,
here.
right?
On the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that the bathroom?
That
Do
is.
do you guys remember, Dale mainly, and Hendrik, well, also High Res, but do you remember when we were asking Tidy about that? We were saying, in one of those community streams, or a number of them, I was saying, is there ever going to be a time in Tidy Labs where a viewer can trigger a song or an alert? Because I wanted personally, I wanted to be able to be triggered. I wanted the viewer to trigger. I love that. I wish they lasted longer on screen. I wanted the viewer to be able to trigger the trumpet when I was doing the Wieners game. And Tidy was like, yeah, good things are coming. It never came though. And then Botrix, I don't know who owns Botrix. Could be Tidy, right? Could be his, Botrix could be Tidy outside of Tidy. We don't know, right? It's just another, same shit, but different company. But that was a feature that's already there. The loyalty, the store, right? It's already there. Trumpet. Yeah, trumpet, you say. Yeah, trumpet.
We're here.
That's our RV bathroom.
Okay.
And you're also in the kitchen at this moment.
Oh,
yep.
We didn't even like anything.
You can alter the duration with CSS. Flowski, those floating alerts, I believe that the way that that's a Botrix thing as well. I'll look into it. I'll look into that and see if I can, because I reckon they should last longer. I love Gloria. Yeah, it needs to be on the screen longer. Yeah.
Yep.
It's worth noting this is pretty luxurious to have a bathroom with a door in a spacecraft.
Oh,
in
really?
a capsule. Yeah.
That's unusual.
That feels like a lot of privacy to us.
That's amazing.
If they're using
Okay.
CSS
And
animation,
then
you could override.
whenever
Yeah, that's
you
true.
guys
Yeah.
are going back to Earth, then do we get back in these?
We do.
So you put them back together, you get back in these seats, and then re-enter. Get back to gravity and back to reality on these.
The process of launching, we're at about 3.5 times Earth's gravity on the way uphill. It's about a 10-minute ride, and at the end of that, we're doing about 17 to 18,000 miles an hour. So it's a lot of acceleration on the way up.
Yeah.
So you need these seats. We really need them in case we have to do a launch abort, a contingency operation. But then on the way home, the G-force is much larger. It could be 6 to 9 Gs for about 4 to 5 minutes on the way home, decelerating.
6G? I got 5G right here, man. Fuck you and your 6. I got 5G right here on my cell phone, man.
And now I can really appreciate that, having flown in fighter jets. That's
You know what that
wild.
feels like, how heavy your arms are, how heavy your chest feels, how heavy everything feels. And after weightlessness, it's a very intense feeling. And the vehicle, even though it's a capsule, it has an ability to steer and drive itself to the appropriate landing site. It should do it automatically. If it doesn't, Victor and I can take controls and do it manually. And so that entire process, the vehicle is rotating with its thrusters, it's coming through the atmosphere, and it's an intense ride on the way home. So you need these things on the way
That's
home.
cool.
Well, needless to say, I just in spending a little bit of time with you guys today, I can see how close all 4 of you guys are. And I mean, it really feels like a family. I would say after you guys get off of this, for any amount of time, you guys are going to be really tight. I mean, lifelong friends, I would assume.
Yeah, we will love each other.
Most definitely. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Amazing.
I was
imagine
3 miles
people
from the
something
launch
like this
site.
and not fully feel
Really?
like you're bonded forever. So
We
That's
made a
cool.
commitment right at the very beginning of the assignment, launch as friends and land as friends.
well, we are all looking forward to it, and I'm going to wish you a lot of luck because, again, it is a lot tighter than I think anyone anticipates in here.
Yeah.
And now to be in here, I will be thinking of you guys the whole mission. So, again, good luck, and we are all with you, and we're all cheering you on
That's
down
cool.
here from Earth. You're already making us all proud, so thank you.
So just with that in mind, when is the launch, Daleski? We're going to wrap the stream up here in a moment, but when is the launch for the moon, the Artemis 3? I'll be sure to watch them all if possible. Maybe Suki will join me. So my speculation in the chat here is that Suki and Dale are an item. That's my mind just going, put all the cogs together and come up with, like, get a nice isosceles triangle and add it to a right angle triangle and you'll come up with a hypotenuse. That's what's going on in my head. And I don't know what those things mean, but I know that they're all things. The plan is for April 1, April Fool's Day. Is that a good day to launch? April Fool's Day? One might argue it might not be the smartest option. April Fool's Day. Gloria is wearing Ray-Bans. Okay. I shit you not. April Fool's Day. Okay. Okay. I trust you, man. April Fool's Day. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me on the stream today, folks. Yeah, I'm going to buy well, not right away, but at some point, I'm not going till August. Do you know what? Gloria. I probably should hold off, right? There could be a DJI Osmo Mobile 9 before I get my shit together, because I'm not going anywhere until the fuel prices come down. Holy fuck, man. $3 a liter? We paid that in what was that place almost at Uluru where it was super racist? Not Wilson's Promenade. William Creek. We paid $2.99, but they didn't want to put the 3, but it was basically $3 a liter. It's already $3 a liter now in the suburbs. So I'm not going anywhere in GoVan until the fuel prices come down. I could do live streams from GoVan. I want to touch wood here, but my setup's all good to go, but not until the fuel prices.
Precipitation.
There's way too much precipitation out there. How many times does Toothboy fuck up, man? Prices will drop again soon. Yeah, patience. Yeah, exactly. And we'll just hang out until then. And we got stuff coming. We got cool content. It's March. I can't believe it. Wow. I don't want to. You guys all know me, right? You all know my history and you know everything. It's March. This is, and it's almost the end of, this month is almost done, right? This was the month that I was meant to be going with Govan to Tasmania. Wow. I mean, arguably, I still could go to Tasmania. I'm not going to because it's not happening. But this was it, March. I'm getting a little emotional here. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. See you all tomorrow. I'm not working tomorrow, so I'll hang out with you guys tomorrow. If Suki is with Dale, I'm a gay mofo that really wants to root Donald Trump. Holy shit, man. I'm glad we're ending it here on that note. Thanks for being here live with me. Fucking hell, Hendrik. Oh, dudes, I've been covering. I started covering this song. I started covering this. It's sounding good too. What I'm doing is mental. I started covering this song on my new album. It's good. Well, it's not good, it's decent. It works. Okay, it's fucking rubbish. I'm a shit musician. My ambition, what is it? No, your enthusiasm far outweighs your ability. Farkle in the chat. Yeah, farkle it up, folks. I love that word. I don't know what the hell it means.
New Zealand's vibe, surfing waves day to night. Always looking for the next thrill. That's where I ignite.
Oh, Flowski.
Always shining bright.
Gotta get them going longer.
Rolling deep and cruising for the height.
Oh,